to pay for college, I had the worst jobs. I worked at KFC. I worked at KFC for 3 weeks, which is the longest anyone has ever worked at a KFC. I have a pension. What you're supposed to do when someone walks into a KFC is say, "Can I help you?" The KFC that I worked at was in New York City's Penn Station, and I worked the 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. shift. The 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. shift. At a fast food restaurant in New York City at 1 o'clock in the morning, "Can I help you?" is not good customer service. It's a promise you can't keep. I never minded sad people, by the way. You should be sad. It's a KFC. The people I minded were like young white hipsters who would come in like it was a real restaurant. They'd say things like, And they'd be like, "What's your healthy option?" And I'd be like, "Leaving. That's our healthy option." By the way, that's why I love, growing up in Boston, there's this place called Dunkin' Donuts. And I love Dunkin' Donuts. You know why? Because they know it's bad. No one pretends. They don't make the employees pretend. You walk into a Dunkin' Donuts, they're like, "Hi!" Welcome to Dunkin'! What food would you like to eat? And you're gross, because you're at a Dunkin' Donuts. You're like, "Can I have 50 donut holes for $9? And they're like, "Yeah. Do you want a Diet Coke with that? It is breakfast." Oh, it's so great. You're the same as the employees who work at Dunkin' Donuts. The customers are the same as the employees. You're unhappy, they're unhappy. You're gross, they're gross. You're not wearing gloves, they're not wearing gloves. And it's wonderful. When I worked at, this woman came in once to KFC. And she was at least 300 pounds. And she had the meanest expression I've ever... By the way, I spent a lot of the last few months in England. In England, it is hard to tell this joke because pounds are money to them. So for weight, they use stone. For weight, they use stone. So I have to be like, this woman came in. She was 1 boulder. And she gets to the front, and I said, "Can I help you?" And she went, "I don't know, can you?" And I didn't know what to say to that, because I couldn't be like, "Probably not." But I was like, "We have chicken. What would you like to eat?" And she went, "I don't know." And I said, "Well, what are you feeling?" Which is also the wrong question. Because she goes, "Well, I'm tired. And I'm homesick. And I miss my family. What do you think I should get, you little jerk?" And because I was 18 and I had no training and I had no other options, I was like, "If you miss your family, we have a family bucket." You forget. I am sick, by the way, of pretending that the stuff that I like is cool stuff. I don't like anything cool. I'm really excited for the day I can finally stop pretending to hate Coldplay. I love Coldplay. I love and occasionally someone trying to be sympathetic will be like, "Oh yeah, the early stuff is good." And I'm like, "No, all of it." And I was sitting in a car And Coldplay came on, and the driver of the car went, ugh, Coldplay. And I had to be like, yeah, I hate music that makes it feel like you can do anything. And, you know, I like uncool stuff. I went to see Josh Groban a couple of weeks ago, and screw you for the judgment on your face. I went to see Josh Groban. Not a girlfriend took me, not an aunt who likes it. I went to see Josh Groban. And I enjoyed it. He sang for 2 hours at twilight outside Portland in an outdoor venue. It was magical. He sings in 4 different languages. He did Pure Imagination for Willy Wonka. I cried, and I got into the car. I got into an Uber feeling fulfilled, and the Uber driver ruined my bliss with 3 words. He said, who is playing tonight? And I said, Josh Groban. And he just went, guilty pleasure. And I said, what? And I swear to God, he went, okay. And I said, why should I feel guilty? Huh? And he went, okay. And I said, why should I feel guilty? For seeing a once-in-a-generation talent sing timeless classics? And he didn't respond. And then I said something that I'm genuinely sure is the most embarrassing thing I've ever said. I crossed my arms, and after this, we were quiet for the rest of the ride. I crossed my arms, and I just went, you can't help what gives you goosebumps. The worst tattoo I've ever seen is this. I worked with a girl at KFC. Long story. And everyone called her Jennifer 9/11. Hold on. It's way worse than you think. She had a tattoo on her lower back of the Twin Towers and the words never forget. First of all, boner killer. Second of all, that means that at some point in her life, she walked into a tattoo, presumably after 9/11, otherwise it's crazy. She walked into a tattoo parlor and was like, I want a permanent reminder of the saddest day in American history. And they were like, Gettysburg? And she's like, no. More recent. And they're like, 9/11. All right, where do you want it? And she's like, it should be a reminder. And they're like, yeah. She's like, should remind me every day. And they're like, yeah. Where do you want it? And she's like, well, what's the one part of my body I could never see ever unless I had a neck like an owl? But here's why it's really horrifying / great. Because time isn't always kind to people's bodies. And eventually, her skin is gonna sag. And those Twin Towers are gonna collapse again. So it's less of a reminder and more of a reenactment. This is the best job you could ever possibly have. It's such a great job. And like, I never thought I liked travel before this. And like, sometimes it's not awesome. I was in Scotland this summer, and I was performing at a music festival, and I was on in the cabaret tent, which is a bad idea, and I had to follow burlesque, which is a booking error. Comedy should never follow naked ladies. Comedy should never follow naked ladies, because no one's ever like, those ladies are really sexy. Let's see what a skinny Jew has to say about cars. It is always a step down. I'm waiting to go on stage, and there's a lady sitting next to me, and she said, what do you do? And I said, I'm a comedian. And she went, I could never do that. And I was like, tonight, I probably can't, so it's fine. I said, what do you do? And she went, oh, I work for Cirque du Soleil. And I said, what do you do for Cirque du Soleil? And she went, I'm a sword swallower. And I said, you're impressed by the comedy thing? And she went, yeah. What if it doesn't go well? I don't bleed out from the inside. That's never happened to a comedian. If you went to a comedy show and you saw a bad comedian, you probably wouldn't talk about it the next day. If you went to Cirque du Soleil and you saw a sword swallower who was less than perfect, you would never talk about anything else. Or it's something you would never bring up, and then like 10 years later, someone would be like, hey, do you want to go to the circus? You'd be like, no! We went once in the 90s. She had hiccups. It was horrible. I don't even know how you become a sword swallower, because as a comedian, here's how you start as a comedian. Here's how some people start as a comedian. You're 17 years old. You're really, really interested in comedy, but you don't know about comedy clubs, and you're growing up in a suburb of Boston. So you rollerblade to a local pizzeria that has a music open mic, and you walk in and you say to the lady hosting the music open mic, a woman named Annie, who plays the ukulele. She's not very good. You say, I'd like to do stand-up comedy. And she goes, that seems like a terrible idea. And you're like, I'd still like to do stand-up comedy. And she's like, well, how much time do you want to do? And you go, how much time do the musicians do? And she goes, they do half an hour. And because you don't know anything, you just go, I'll do half an hour. You haven't brought any material, but you don't know the option of leaving is one of your options. So you stand on stage for half an hour and bomb harder than anyone has ever bombed. You leave the stage, you walk to the back, you put on your rollerblades, and then through hot tears, you hear the host go, maybe he'll get better one day. And because of that, you go back every goddamn Tuesday for 2 years. That is how some people start. You start at a terrible level, but then you get better with time. You can't do that as a sword swallower. You have to be good from day number one, right? And you can't show up at an open mic with like a butter knife and be like, hi, I'm hoping to get way better at this. You come back next week with a cream cheese knife, you work your way through your